The French Revolution. The French Revolution occurred in CE 1789. It was an important event in world history. It ended the despotic rule of the monarchy, and an attempt was made to rebuild a society based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. For the first time, the lower classes rose up in revolt to end the tyrannical rule of the despotic monarchs. Causes of the French Revolution. The French society was feudal in character. It was divided into three classes or estates. The first estate consisted of the clergy, the second estate consisted of the nobility, and the third estate consisted of the peasants, and the bourgeoisie, which included the professional and the wealthy merchants. The first and the second estates enjoyed many privileges and paid no taxes. The entire burden of taxes fell on the third estate, hence they led a miserable life. The monarchy was indifferent to the welfare of the subjects. Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette ignored the sufferings of the people. The people were frustrated. There was no relief from any source for them. The time was ripe for an outbreak. At this time, the writings of the philosophers like Rousseau, Voltaire, and Montesquieu exposed the ills of the government. They inspired the masses with the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The common man now wanted his rights. The success of the American Revolution further instigated the people to fight for their rights. Outbreak. On July 14, CE 1789, the people of France rose up in revolt, and the mob stormed the Bastille jail and set all the prisoners free. This event, popularly known as Storming of the Bastille, marks the beginning of the French Revolution. This day, 14th July, is celebrated as Independence Day of France. The king, Louis XVI, and Marie Antoinette were arrested and hanged. With this, the old structure of the government fell. A national assembly was formed. France became a republic. It adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, which stated that all men are born free and are equal before law. They all have the right to live, liberty, and property. The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity became popular all over the world.
Impact of the French Revolution. The French Revolution put an end to despotic rule of monarchy. It ended the feudal system in France, which was based on exploitation of poor by the rich. France became a republic. The citizen got basic right of the speech, individual liberty, right to vote, etc. It popularized the idea that power belongs to the people. It spread the spirit of nationalism and democracy. The slogan of French Revolution was liberty, equality, and fraternity, inspired people all over the world. It had a sobering effect on the ruling monarchies, who undertook several reforms to ensure people's welfare. Fact. The fall of Bastille is a very significant event in the history of Europe. In the opinion of Louis XVI, this was revolt, but the common man took it as the revolution. Rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was a brilliant military general who was born in Corsica in CE 1769. He joined the Royal Artillery at the age of 16. After that, he never looked back. He was Commander-in-Chief of the French Army, the First Council, CE 1799 to 1804, and then in CE 1804, he became the Emperor of France. His glorious era ended when he was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in CE 1815. He was exiled to St. Helena, where he died in CE 1821. The people of France had welcomed Napoleon with open arms. They were tired of reign of terror and corruption of the Directory. They desired a stable and secure life. Napoleon's talents and his achievements appealed to the people. He introduced a series of reforms, provided economic stability to France by setting up new industries and promoting trade. He established friendly relations with the church. He introduced a new code of civil laws known as Code of Napoleon. He made France a dominant force in Europe. Napoleon was a very ambitious person. Between CE 1805 to 1814, Napoleonic plunged the whole of Europe into a series of wars known as Napoleonic Wars. He brought about unification of Europe. Under Napoleon, numerous victories were won by France, especially against Austria, Russia, and Prussia. In CE 1805, he declared war on Austrian forces and entered Vienna as a victor. He then inflicted a crushing defeat on the combined armies of Austria and Russian army. In CE 1807, he held sway over whole of Europe except England. He was the master of a vast empire which included Belgium, Italy, Spain, parts of Germany, Netherlands, etc. Napoleon's military campaigns were fired by one motive: defeat of England. He had been defeated in the historic Battle of Trafalgar, CE 1805, between Britain and France. After this, he made up his mind to defeat Britain. During the time of Industrial Revolution, England was looking for markets. In CE 1806, when Napoleon's popularity was on the rise, he passed a law by which he forbade Europe to buy British goods. This was called the Continental System. Britain was hard hit as Europe was now dependent on French goods. Unfortunately, France did not have enough goods to fulfill the requirements of the whole of Europe. As a result, smuggling of British goods increased. Napoleon began to lose his popularity. In CE 1808, Napoleon, with a view to establish his domination over Portugal and Spain, started war with them. This war is known as Peninsular War. The Spanish ulcer ruined him. He was defeated in the war. It was a great blow to his power and prestige. Napoleon's next mistake was the invasion of Russia in CE 1812. Napoleon's army could not withstand the bitter Russian winter. Thousands of French soldiers were killed by hunger, exhaustion, and cold. It was the worst military defeat of Napoleon. Napoleon's enemies now united against him and attacked France from all the sides. Austria, Prussia, Russia, and England defeated France at Leipzig in CE 1813. He was exiled to the island of Elba. Napoleon refused to accept his defeat. He escaped and gathered an army and seized Belgium, but he was finally defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in CE 1815. He was exiled to St. Helena. Fact: in February 1848 CE, a revolution broke out. France became a republic again, but power was usurped by Napoleon Bonaparte, the nephew of Napoleon,